Hello viewers, here is a Lakewood 12-inch oscillating table desk fan. This is the model 1200A, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 1.1 amps, which is a lot of power for a PSC motor on a 12-inch blade. I've never worked with one of these before, any of the A series. I have a few from the DX series, and I'm not particularly fond of the design, and while I believe these offer better performance, I am also not very fond of the design of these either. They're all plastic, and of course the plastic has become brittle over the years, and this is full of cracks. It's cracked all over the place. There's a crack there's a crack there, there's a crack down here, a couple of slats missing on the bottom. I have those slats, so I'll have to patch them back in. I was over here, got them in this bag, so I can patch it back together, but it's gonna keep breaking everywhere. It's cracked over there. This is terrible. Even sound like there's something busted in the base. So, motor housing is pretty small for such a powerful motor, especially in comparison to the size of the housings on the Lakewood Galaxy models. It's got a fair bit of dust in there, so I have to get it cleaned. I don't know how serviceable these are. I'm going to be very nervous taking this thing apart because of all the brittle plastic cracking everywhere. That seems like it's working okay. It's too bad these weren't made out of a different kind of plastic. Here's the plug. It's a non-polarized plug. Looks like it's got some kind of weird defect in the plastic. The guard is on upside down. I'll have to fix that. If it wasn't for the brittling of plastic, it would be in really good cosmetic condition. It hasn't reached the point where it's starting to like powderize yet. Maybe it is a little bit right there, I can't really tell, but it's definitely brittle. It's too bad because it really is in pretty good condition otherwise. Looks like the guard spacing is pretty decent on this, so it may... Oh man, so many of these are broken. It may perform pretty well. Not good. This thing is really falling apart. Well, let's see if it runs or it just explodes. Looking at 121 volts. Alright, let's start it up on the low. I'll turn the oscillations off for now. Does not sound too good. Terrifically out of balance. Okay. Well, performance-wise, it's not bad. Actually pushes pretty strong for the amount of noise it's making. Certainly much better performance than the DX series, which I don't quite understand because it seems like it's pretty much the same fan. That's taken 0.64 amps, so this is a lot less efficient than the Lakewood Galaxy ones were. I'm not quite sure why this is pulling 63 amps. It's running very slowly. Is it because the bearings are locked up? No, they're pretty free still. I don't know if that's the windings or something's loose in there. That's the windings. That's terrible. Does have some startup sounds to it, so I'll record that. Here's the medium. Pretty quiet, much quieter than the DX series fans. And we're up to 0.885 amps. And the high. Okay, now we're talking. That is 1.05 amps. Okay. Now I understand why people like these. Now it's pretty strong. It's certainly much louder than the Glasgow Galaxy ones, but I don't think that this is that much less powerful. It sure is out of balance, oh my goodness. It's terribly out of balance. I don't even want to run it like that. Okay, so low and medium are very underpowered, and then high, it kind of takes off and performs the way I've been told it does. It's very dusty. I'm sure once it's cleaned up it'll move more air. Decent performance though on high. The blade set looks pretty good. Seems to have a pretty deep pitch to it. Hopefully it's not made of brittle plastic. Otherwise getting it off of there is going to be interesting, because I think it's just press fit on there. Is there a hole in the front? Yeah, at least I could use the puller. Let's take a quick listen to the startup sounds. This is straight to high. Look at how out of balance that is. Oh my goodness. The image stabilization on the camera is taking it out, but it's bad. That's really disappointing. I would have expected it to be in better balance. I don't know Lakewood to have blade balance issues. Okay, the medium. And the low. A little bit of a sound going from high to medium. I'm afraid this stinking guard is just going to shake itself apart. Well, I have mixed feelings about these. I want to like them, of course, because they're Lakewood, but the all plastic design, especially being made out of such brittle plastic, just not good, and the balance is terrible. I don't know if it was like that originally or if it's just become out of balance over the years. It's hard to see the blade through this guard, so we'll take a better look at the blade once I get it opened up, and we'll see then if it's just out of balance or if it's warped over the years. This is going to be a project for sure. It's not that dusty, but getting the thing apart and getting it back together without it breaking is going to be very challenging.